Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be telling you how to find accommodation as an international student. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dorothy. I'm an Erasmus Master student. I'm studying archaeological material science. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to find accommodation in Europe, with of course a reference to my experience in Portugal. First off, I did not find my accommodation before I got to the place, but it is advisable to actually contact somebody and be sure that you have a place to go to when you arrive, because that whole uncertainty when you get there, especially when it's a new place and everything is just so confusing, you need at least that assurance that you have a place to sleep for the night. And so yes, for me, I had to book accommodation in a hostel, temporary accommodation in a hostel for like 3 days. I even extended it because I could not find accommodation, and it was so stressful finding accommodation. But hopefully what I'm going to be telling you today is going to make it less stressful for you. So my first point, or my first advice for you, is to decide which type of accommodation you want or you're willing to get. So when I'm talking about the type of accommodation, are you looking for an apartment with maybe your own bathroom and your own kitchen and all of those things? Or you want to share a room with somebody? Do you want to share an apartment with somebody? Are you willing to share the common areas, as in the kitchen, the washroom, the living room, or the living space with other people? You have to decide which type of accommodation you want, and then from there you actually would know what to start searching for. That leads me to my next point, which is to research and find websites that actually would help you get accommodation. And so of course we have websites like Idealista, Booking.com, Uniplaces, name them, there are a lot, and they can actually help you find accommodation. But you cannot just start searching unless you decide which type of accommodation you are willing to pay for or you are willing to stay in. I know a friend who cannot share a room with somebody, and so for her, she made a decision that she wants an apartment solely for her, as in everything for her. So it depends on you what you want to do. And yes, also you can find accommodation on Facebook groups. So thankfully, if you're an Erasmus student or if you're an international student, there are some Facebook groups that actually can help you find accommodation. So you have to search Facebook groups that have the title, maybe Erasmus students in Evora or Erasmus students in Thessaloniki. You can join. Sometimes they'll ask you to explain why you want to join the group. Of course, you just write what you have to, like the truth about your whole experience or what you want to do in the group, and then you can just put an ad. You are looking for this room, you are looking for so and so, this amount in this part of town, maybe close to the university, maybe close to this, close to that. So the Facebook groups really help. They actually helped me find my accommodation in Thessaloniki. So my third point is that you have to consider your accommodation's proximity to the cheapest bus station or a transportation port or a station, basically. Because if you are going to be staying somewhere that is a bit far from your university, you need to know, or you need to find a place that is close to a bus station so that you can easily get on board and then get to school early as you can. Now my fourth point, also considering where your accommodation is located, you have to consider where or how close your accommodation is to the cheapest supermarket. Sometimes the bigger supermarkets have cheaper food stuff, and then of course the smaller ones have like added prices, and so they're a bit expensive. And so if your accommodation is close to one of the big supermarkets in your city, that would really help you. And of course, even if the only one close to the accommodation you are considering is one with like a little expensive food stuff, at least you will not have to like drag your things across the city just to bring them home, especially when you go shopping for like a whole month's worth of food stuff. So yes, you have to consider the accommodation's proximity to a supermarket. Another advice I would give you is to do the whole process yourself. Why I'm saying that is, if you use an agent, the agent is going to restrict you. They're just going to tell you the accommodations they have access to, but there may be better accommodation out there, or better houses or rooms to rent that are out there that you have not explored because you did not do it yourself. And so yes, I feel that agents will restrict you, but if of course you don't mind that whole vibe, you can use an agent, but I would not really advise you to do that. Another thing that I would say you should not do if you're looking for accommodation is to actually pay before you get there. Why I'm saying that is, if you follow these groups, you get stories about people being duped, people paying over 700 euros for accommodation. It really is like very scary because you're already having limited resources or funds, and so to be duped, yeah, your money, no. So do not pay before you go, unless maybe you have actually confirmed every single thing. If you have like maybe a colleague who is already there, like for instance my coursemates, some of them got here like a month before I did, or 2 weeks before, and so you can ask them to actually help you find accommodation or help you confirm the location or the house you want to actually go. They can go maybe do a video call with you so that you can actually inspect, but still I'll not even advise you to actually pay. Your landlord, you should explain to your landlord that you're a student, you don't have the funds now, but by the time you get there you're going to be paying. So the other thing that actually crossed my mind and I almost forgot to tell you is that you should know about paying your security deposit. So depending on the landlord or the landlady that you're working with, or you're going to be going to the rental contract with, sometimes we request for security deposits. That simply is money you put down in case you destroy something or you break something, and that's the money they're going to use to repair it. But of course, if before you leave everything is in shape, everything remains how it is, except for like of course the normal wear and tear, then you'll be giving that money back. But if you do not plan for it, especially for international students that are now coming for their Erasmus, sometimes the first 2 weeks or first 3 weeks you will not be giving your scholarship money, and so you have to come from Ghana, from Nigeria, from everywhere you be coming from. You have to come prepared with your rental money or your rent money, and then the security deposit. So there are instances where the security deposit is less than the rent, or sometimes it's the same price as the rent, depending of course on the worth of the accommodation. And so you can actually get accommodation for 300 euros, and then you have to pay a security deposit of 300 euros. Just that your money is, for me I take it like your money is being saved for you somewhere safe. But if you break something, you lose that money. If you sign a contract, your contract also dictates you what you can actually do, what you can't do. Imagine if your contract is saying that if you leave before the appointed time of the contract or the duration of the contract, you forfeit your security deposit, and you know that of course you're not going to get your money back. And yes, that are all my points for you on how to find accommodation in Europe, especially with my experience in Portugal. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps you, and I'll see you in my next video.